what are some of the ideas I learned about the forms of Kanban, which are 2 card, 1 card, and 2 bin? During my internship, I noticed the cards, which now I know is 2 card Kanban, and in like part bins, and I understood that it was to signal that parts were needed, but I did not completely understand what it was called. And then the idea that if something is not used, it is waste. So in one of the articles I read, the unused tools in operations. So even though they were unwrapped and set out for the doctor to use, they were just thrown away, even though they were unused, because they didn't want to mix them in with tools that are still wrapped up and sterile. And then in the video of the hospital that was going to 2-bin, the sink and the cabinets were taking up space that could be used completely for the supplies. How will these concepts be helpful? Okay, well, they'll be helpful by allowing me to better understand the process control from like the supermarket to the line, and then the line creating the finished product and that going to the warehouse. How will these ideas change the way you work? Well, often in my internship, we were told to go get parts for builds, or so that we could analyze them to create new fixtures. And we would go and get them from the supermarket, and we often were given, or we could just look it up on our laptops, that we had the aisle and like the shelf they were on. So we would often just go get them without telling I guess they were like, they kept track of what was being used and what was still there. And we often didn't check out the parts. We just didn't even think about it. And that probably, that's not good, because then they're expecting those parts to be there, and they are not now. So that is how I plan to not do that anymore. And that is what I have learned from this section. Thank you.